Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be talking about something that successful people do, and if you do them, you're likely to become successful. Now, I'm going to talk about seven things that successful people do. I encourage you, when you watch this video, don't just watch it. Have a piece of paper and take notes and make an effort, or make a decision in your mind that you're going to implement these things. Now, one of the things I'm going to ask you is this: how many times have you discussed your problems with people and they offered solutions? Now, if you're going to be honest, it's almost never. And if it ever happened at all, it's going to be very few times in a lifetime. Most of the time, when you discuss your problems with people, all they do is they discuss about your problems. The problems become a subject of discussion. It becomes something that people talk about. It's entertainment. It's just like something that they gist about, something that they just talk about. But they are not providing solutions for you. And what you actually need are solutions. So you see, try a different strategy. Rather than telling people about your problems and talking about your problems, try to talk to God about your problems, and then talk to people who are therapists in a particular field. So for instance, maybe you're depressed and then you're talking to people. No, get a therapist, go talk to a therapist, and then you talk to God. Maybe you need money, go to an expert, like maybe go to a financial advisor. Go, even if you have to pay, go to an expert, somebody whose job it is to bring about solutions. But don't just talk about your problems, because you're going to be entertaining people. And after a while, it's going to be a stigma around you. Oh, that problem person, that problematic person. And you don't want that. You don't want that. When they tell you a problem shared is a problem solved, listen, that is some stupid proverb or saying or adage that somebody came up. It's not true. Now, another thing that you want to do is this. When you have money, don't ever spend money that is just money. Spend profits. Unless you have invested money, don't spend it. So if you get money, for instance, now, your urge as a human being, to spend. That's impulse. So you have to have impulse control. Because if you don't have impulse control, if you cannot subsume your impulse for your principles, you can never be successful. So when you have money, what you want to do is you want to invest your money before you spend it. So you're spending profits, you're spending dividends, you're spending, like what you get from a business, but you are not spending your principal. So never get a salary, for instance, and yes, you have to pay for your rent, maybe if you're living in a house, or you have to pay for your children's school fees. Yes, I understand that. But what is left? Don't go and buy an iPhone, or don't go and buy some new clothes. Invest the money. Make investment part of your lifestyle, and you're going to get dividends, and then you can spend the dividends on things like that. Now, the third thing is this: God gives everybody ideas. There's nobody on earth that God doesn't give ideas. Anybody that says God has not given them an idea, that person is a liar, and that person is defaming God. Everybody gets ideas. Now, the issue is this: when people get ideas, you know what they do? Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to write it down later, or I'm going to store it in my head. I'm very smart. I'm going to store it in my head. Listen, your memory is not designed to store ideas. You're going to forget it. You're going to forget some details about it, or you're going to forget it entirely. And if you do not write it down immediately, you're not going to write it down properly. If you look at scripture, if you look at when Moses went to see our Creator God in Mount Sinai and other places, when God told him something, Moses wrote them down on tablets. He wrote them down on tablets. Why? Because he couldn't keep them in his mind, in his memory. And Moses was a very, very super intelligent man. And then if he couldn't do that, what about you? If you have an idea, wherever you are, if you're taking a shower, stop that shower. Right. You see, a short pencil is longer than a long memory. And then by the time you make it a habit of writing, you're going to have many money-making ideas. And then by the time you start to implement them, money is going to come to you. You see? So it's very important. Now, another thing that successful people do, and this is very important, successful people, they sleep. I mean, this whole idea that, if you want to be successful, you should not sleep for more than 6 hours is the dumbest, is the stupidest thing that you can think of. Think about your iPhone, think about your Samsung, think about your phones. If your phones are not charged fully charged. They don't work optimally. As a matter of fact, some features are not going to be working well, like maybe the light projection on the screen, and other features, they're not going to be working well. You need to be fully charged. Sleeping is important. Sleeping is important. And you got to sleep for at least 7 hours. Better still, 8 hours. Sleep properly, and hydrate. What you have to understand is this: your body is 63% water. Your body is 63% water. However, your brain is actually 72% water. So if you are not hydrating properly, you take it from your body, you take it from your brain, you're starving them. You gotta drink. It's very, very important. That's another thing you're going to do. And then one other thing that successful people do, which a lot of people take for granted, is this. When you wake up in the morning, and it's very, very important, when you wake up in the morning, do not just rush off and then you want to do things that everybody does. Get your phone, check your Instagram, check your Twitter. No. Or you just put on the TV, or maybe you want to like listen to some music. No. When you wake up as a human being, you are in a state called theta. Now, theta is just the state between the spiritual and the natural. If you read Job 32:8, scripture, it says that there is a spirit in a man, the breath of the Almighty, that gives him inspiration. When you are sleeping, that spiritual side of you, it's rejuvenated. And then by the time you wake up, that's why when you wake up, sometimes you remember your dream. But then as maybe something just happens, maybe you just hear a voice of somebody, or maybe you hear the radio, or maybe the light comes off, gradually the dream just fades away. So take advantage of that spiritual state when you wake up, when you're in theta, and then go immediately on your knees. Pray. Talk to God, because at that state you are very, very, very fertile spiritually. Just talk to God, say things to Him, and then plan your day, pray about your day. Just talk to God. Don't waste that opportunity and then just go and do something silly like checking your email. Because of what? Because you have one silly friend sending you an email? No! Talk to God. And then finally, and this is so important, finally, when you are in an office environment, basically ideally what you want is you want your own business. You want your own business. But then a lot of people are going to start out being in an office environment. And it's very, very important. When you're in that office environment, you are not there to make friends with your colleagues. But your colleagues are not your friends. They didn't come to that office because of you. Guess what they came there for? They came there for moolah. So when you're in that office, you have to be cognizant of the fact that your colleagues are not your friends. Stop confiding in them, because if you confide in them and they can use that confidence to betray you and get a promotion, they're going to do that. What you want to do is this: go to your office and do only one thing: impress your boss, because that's the only person that can promote you. And then when you're promoted, you get more money, and when you get more money, you have more funds available that you can use to invest and quick jump out of your state of wealth. And I'm going to give you one bonus. Never spend money to impress people. Money understands these things. By the time you start spending money to impress people, money is going to run away from your life. Now, my name is Ronald Mokri. If you've watched this and you have questions arising from this, put them in the comment section of this video. Myself, I'm going to bring them to me, and I'll do my best to respond to each and every category. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address. Scammers, spammers, and seeing that my videos tend to go viral, and so they created a number of fake YouTube profiles with my image on it, and they approach people in the comment section. Be warned, if you contact them, they're going to ask you to pay some money. You pay the money, that's the last you hear from them, and then you start chasing me all over social media saying, Pastor Ronald, you've duped me. No, I haven't duped you. I'm the apostle of prosperity. I'm here to make you wealthy. This is Ronald Mokri saying, God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is